Today we'll be reviewing the Mezco Attack of the Living Dead Jake figure. I have previously reviewed the Earl figure, which you can find on my channel, so if you want information on him, go ahead and check it out. To start with, he comes with 3 accessories, the first being a half-eaten torso, which is suitably gruesome. Presumably the head that originally belonged to the torso. Eyeball hanging out, brains, nice big chunk taken out of them there. Paint jobs on these are very nice. There's a nice glossy blood effect to give it a nice wet looking appearance. And then finally, a chunk of brain, which is always fun. As for the figure himself, he's a great figure. I'm a big fan of him. To start with, articulation-wise, he has the ball neck, ball shoulder. He has the elbow swivel, a hinged, or not elbow swivels, bicep swivel, a hinged elbow. No wrist hinge on him. He has kind of a hip swivel. Doesn't give a huge range of motion, but you get something that's actually a little bit of a ball joint, but just really works best as a swivel. He has V-cup hips. Swivel knees. And no real ankle articulation. So it takes a little bit of work to get him into position where you like him. You get him to stand. So while he's a little less articulated than the Earl figure, Earl was pretty much ball joints everywhere, he works really well. He's got this typical zombie-looking gait, which works real well. As for the sculpt is fantastic. There's 2 head sculpts and 2 different colors for each of these. Actually, I think there's more if you include the black and white and glow-in-the-dark versions, which I haven't seen and don't know anything really about. So there's a lot of variants, each one with its own different head. So this is one of the variant heads, and you can see, let's get a nice little focus on here if I can. So the eye has been eaten out by maggots. The other eye's still intact. He's got a nice little, there, half his face is missing. He's got chunks out of his head. I mean, the sculpt is just really good. It gives a nice little, your typical zombie appearance. I'm a big fan of that. He's very desiccated, very skinny. You can see his rib cage through his shirt. He's got wounds and sores everywhere. Go ahead and get a nice little. So yeah, the sculpt is nice. I can't think of anything they could have done to improve the sculpt, aside from offer more articulation, but, you know, what can you do? As for the paint job, again, it's excellent. There's, as you can see, he's bloody. The blood has a nice gloss appearance to it to make it look nice and wet. The pants have good highlights on them, which helps add to the realism. The shirt's nice and ragged, even with the the ragged cuts on the shirt. There's no real paint spill. It's very tight. It looks very good. Blood on the neck. Overall, it's just a super fantastic figure. I do wish for a little bit more articulation. As far as scale goes, here's how he scales up to the 6-inch Iron Man that I've been using for pretty much everything. And the NECA Terminator figure. Now, as you can see, he's more on par with the Terminator figure, 7-inch scale. With Earl, it wasn't as big a deal. Earl's a big, fat zombie. It could just also be a big, fat 6-inch scale zombie. With Jake, it doesn't really work as well. He's obviously 7-inch scale. So there you have it. That is the Mezco Attack the Living Dead Jake figure. I'm going to try and track down a Helen and see if I can get her reviewed. But for now, these are the two I have. I hope you enjoyed.